So, because of the absolutely large haul that I had this week, I had a lot of books to choose from. Uh, there was a lot of good books, man. So it was really hard to narrow it down. But as usual, I did. So let's see what cracked my top three. So coming in at number three is Dark Ride, number three. And first of all, I gotta give a huge shout out to Joshua Williamson. He is doing an amazing job, I feel like, with this book. I mean, the progression, it's a little slow, but it's enough, I feel like, because I feel like there's going to be something huge that will eventually happen in this story. But in this book, you still have Sam and Halloween, the two kids of Arthur Dante, the owner of the theme park, and them two, they're still fighting back and forth. For some reason, I don't see that ever not being a thing. But it adds a dynamic though to the book. I feel like an extra level of drama maybe. But in this book though, Owen from the first book, the new employee to the theme park, he was the horror movie enthusiast, and he was super excited about meeting Sam and everybody. So he was curious. So at the end of the book, if you remember, he goes into the one of the rides and he just kind of disappears. And in this book, his sister comes and she's looking for him, looking for clues and just searching for him because he's been missing, right? So if you remember, the guy that was shooting the YouTube videos in the first book, Theo was his name, meets up with Owen's sister, and they're talking and they're investigating and whatnot, and they come up with this plan to kind of come up with some, I guess, evidence and stuff, because they all know that something is wrong with the park. Something's mysterious, even though Sam is really in denial. And that comes out to play in this book too. He's in denial of something weird happening. He's just thinking it's part of the show or whatever. But then there's a weird, strange interaction towards the end of this book. So yeah, the way this book ended, a little bit of a surprise. It was it was one of them page turns where you flip that page and you're like, whoa. I was surprised, but it was good though. It was really good. So it really got me excited for issue number 4 when that comes out. So yeah, this is going to be a mainstay on my pull list. So yeah, Dark Ride number 3 is my number 3 book of the week. So the number 2 book of the week, it really should come as no surprise, but DCeased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 5. And this book, I felt like, made some serious progression on this story, man. Mxyzptlk, what happens with him in this book, him and Darkseid's interaction, it changed a lot. It changed a lot, I feel like. So with that aspect of this book, I'm curious to see where that's going to go. But, the way the issue 4 ended with, the whole big battle amongst all of the heroes because of the Guardians making their decision on destroying one planet for the greater good of all. And there were some heroes that were like, no, we don't need to do that. We can still save every life. That kind of bleeds into the beginning of this book. There was some change of heart a little bit in some ways, I feel like, with that. But yeah, this book overall, man, I can't say enough about it. And I got to be honest. Mxyzptlk, he what happens with him is like a game changer, man. I can't get over that. That part just really sticks out to me. And I really want to say more because I want to get it out, but I don't want to give spoilers. I don't want to give spoilers. So I'm really talking in general terms, but you know, it's just amazing with the whole Green Lantern Corps and everything. Highly recommend this. If you have not read this, if you're living under a rock somewhere, please do yourself a favor. Pick up Deceased, War of the Undead Gods. Read it, because I think this issue, number 5, could very well be my favorite issue of this current run so far. So we're winding down. Only got 3 more books to go, but things are heating up. Things are heating up. So yeah, there's a few things happening in this book too, other than what happens with Mxyzptlk. But I'll tell you what, seeing Darkseid in that yellow, whatever, Green Lantern tights and whatever, or I guess it's not Green Lantern if it's yellow, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to find the picture. All right, well, I'll try to hide that, but yeah. Darkseid, man. He's one of my favorite villains, to be honest, but yeah. So anyway, Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 5 is my number 2 book of the week. And for my number 1 book of the week, the number 1 book of the week is the grand finale, I should say, but issue number 7, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. I mean, first of all, the book itself, the one thing I don't understand is it looks like this could have been like maybe an acetate cover, right? Because you can kind of see Nighthawk through there, but then you literally flip it and there he is again, right? Which is the same right here. But then the back, you know, so I don't know what the deal was with that, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, this book had some heartwarming moments, you know, especially with, believe it or not, especially with Slade Wilson. I mean, Deathstroke. The way that turns out, the way the whole battle turns out, Black Adam playing a big role towards the outcome, and I mean, it's just good, man. And I gotta say, towards the very, very end of this book, I don't really know what to say without kind of like spoiling it. Just say that next year there's going to be something that comes out that is directly tied to this, or is going to be a result of this. That's the best way I can put it without really giving a spoiler. But I think overall, the book ended pretty solid. The artwork has always been great, in my opinion, with this book. The storytelling in this book has been really good. There was a part of the way that it ended, though, that kind of left me like, was that it? Was that all that it took? But yeah, overall, it was a solid, very good book. Love the way it ended. And I will say that Wade Wilson, I'm sorry, Slade Wilson, Slade Wilson, he's still around. He didn't go anywhere. But, you know, Nighthawk takes a little, I thought this was really cool. I mean, Nighthawk, Nightwing, jeez, I'm all over the place right now. But Nightwing, he, where did he go? Yeah, right here, the opening sequence, kind of, you know, what he's currently, his current state right now is Nightwing, and he kind of goes back to his days as Robin. So, you know, this whole opening to the book I thought was like really cool. And of course, the amazing artwork. I mean, it's just awesome. There's nothing really I can say that's bad about this book. It gives a lot of detail, the outcome, the fallout of defeating the Dark Army and Deathstroke and everything. So, yeah, I mean, this book is awesome. I'm just excited for what's coming. DC, I think DC is going to kill it next year with everything that they have announced, and just the way this ended and the way this is going to be. There's going to be something that happens as a result of this directly. Yeah, yeah. Also, the Justice League. Will they or won't they be around? Are they going to be a thing moving on to the future? This right here has a solid answer to that. Could be a solid answer. It's solid. Could be an answer to that question, though. So, yeah, man. Overall, this is a really good book. Really good book. I'm going to go back and actually binge read this entire series, just to have everything fresh in my mind as a whole. But yeah, it's been fun, man. I've really enjoyed this. So, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, issue number 7, the final conclusion to this crisis. That's questionable that it's a crisis, but you know, the final conclusion, boom, right here. That's my #1 book of the week. So there you have it. My top 3 books of the week. I think it's pretty good, right? I think I had a good solid #3 or top 3 books of the week, right? But you know, I do want to hear what you think of it. Tell me what you think of my top 3. I want to know what your top 3 were for the week. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my previous video right here. So like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side.